DeMarco, you asked me earlier about...
There's no question.
Right, there's no question pending.
Is there a certain exhibit that you want to provide additional testimony on?
I object to the form of the
Right.
question.
Sustained.
It was... Well, there's no question.
We'll come back to that, sir, okay? Plaintiff's Exhibit 3, cover sheet S, like Sam. What is that document and why did you provide it?
So this is a printout from the Fulton County Sheriff's website, which shows what the addresses of their various jails, all of which are in Georgia, which is thousands of miles away from Las Vegas, which means that on December 5th, when this conversation supposedly took place, it couldn't have happened because he was in Fulton County, Georgia. And so this also piggybacks on the fact that when Mr. Cantrell first testified, he used an alias, and he also testified about this conversation happening during the summer of 2006. And I know that to be patently false because I know Mr. Dow has been in jail since March 2nd, 2006. So he couldn't have had this conversation during the summer of 2006, and he also couldn't have had it December 5th, 2005. So this just buttressed the fact that the dates he was saying this conversation happened couldn't have been possible based on law enforcement records.
Now, they allow, and this is the coldest part. Not only when he said that at the evidentiary hearing, when he said he saw me summer of 06, and he saw me at the Boulevard Mall, and I was with the prostitute Lee Larson, Danae, his prostitute. Man, I jump up in the courtroom and I say, nigga, you didn't see me. I was in jail summer of 06. The prosecutor, DeGiacomo, says, oh no, you were on the street. I said, bitch, before you get this nigga up here to line, you need to get your arrest records and make sure that you on track with your bullshit because I was in jail from March the 2nd and I haven't left custody. He looks in his paperwork and he says, and this Stuart Bell, who is the grand poobah of racism, this bitch, he says to him, Your Honor, I'm sorry, I was the one that told Mr. Mouton that date. I said, oh, so you told him that? Listen to me, that ain't even on the record. They didn't put that in the transcripts. That interaction that happened right there is not in the transcripts. I've been searching and looking all over the place for that. That has been totally annihilated from the record. That interaction right there. Just to show you how diabolical these people is down here, they botched the motherfucking transcripts. That ain't even a complete record. But what they did and what he was doing was so bad and so outlandishly foul, you could not cover up all the shit. I mean, the dog can dig a hole in shit, but it's going to be shit on the ground. No matter how you go get your shovel and try to scoop it up, you can't, because it's too much shit. You waited too late to clean up everything, and then you couldn't clean it all up. It's all over you. This shit don't pass the smell test. Period.
And in your research and investigation, did you determine whether or not Mr. Cantrell / Mr. Mouton had also been interviewed with the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department in relation to this case?
That I don't know.
But you agree that or through your investigation, obviously, he was a witness in the case against Mr. Dow in Nevada?
Oh, yeah, it was transcripts, videos, of course.
Now, you were present during the testimony of Mr. Cantrell at the last hearing in this case, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Do you recall his testimony that regarding Miss Lee Larson that his phone number was found in her phone
I do.
and that he knew her?
I do.
Okay. In your training and experience as a prosecutor, would you consider that to be Brady material that should have been disclosed?
Of course.
Why do you believe that?
It could go to third-party culpability. It could go to motive for testifying. It could go to bias. It's clearly Brady.
Now, with all that said, why did I not get a police report of the pedophile pimp with the prostitute? She did. Why there was no investigation? And if it is one,
You have 1 minute left.
and if it is one, where's this police report at? I never seen one. I didn't even know for 16 years, 17, that this nigga even knew her. I didn't know this. That was eye-popping and jaw-dropping. That his number was in her phone. But again, the judge, bitch, you didn't find nothing to overturn. There's no Brady. You don't have to believe Mouton. Again, believe the police reports, believe the investigation. All of this is Brady. See how diabolical and wicked that lady is? I do not respect that lady, man. I do not respect that judge. I came there, I respect anybody off the top, off the dribble. I'm going to respect you. But the moment you start doing foul and disrespectful shit, I'm going to treat you accordingly.
Thank you for using Securus. Goodbye.
Do you recall the testimony from Mr. Cantrell / Mr. Mouton that when he was interviewed by Fairfield Homicide in relation to the death of Miss Larson, that he said, quote, they kind of like painted their own story, put their own picture together and kind of like squeezed me in for whatever reason?
I heard that.
Okay. Do you believe that would be Brady material that should be disclosed?
Judge, I apologize, but everybody in the world heard Mr. Mouton say all of this for the first time on the stand. So one, I don't know how it could possibly be Brady, and I know he's using that term very loosely, but ultimately this is irrelevant. What Mr. Cantrell says in 2022 is irrelevant to the issue before the court.
So Your Honor, just...
It's Brady because they did that. That's what the fuck they did. He just testified to it in 2022. They did that to him at the time. That's Brady. They put him in the room squeak. They didn't tell me that they put him in a motherfucking room and put their own spin on it and told him basically what the fuck to say. I didn't know none of that. They didn't disclose none of that. So now he's trying to stop that everybody in the world heard him say, everybody in the world just watched us give you a subpoena, and this bitch is sitting here letting you object. That's as egregious as her stopping Latif from asking his own question, and he's sitting on the stand as a witness. She stopped him. And matter of fact, it didn't even come from her. It came from them, and then she supported it. You can't ask a question and as you're being a witness on the stand. He is a witness. This motherfucker is about to get on the stand and lie. So come on.